It's a brother
and a sister.
It's a brother and a sister.
Brother and a sister. Yo, brother. Yo, sister.
Yo, brother.
Ovaries. 34. Over. Because this is a feminist.
More talk of ovaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a good ovary, man. You know, it just gets the people going.
It does.
It's controversial.
Conversation starter if you have one on your kitchen table or your dining room table.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's a power play.
Well, I think having testes
is a power play.
Displayed is a power play.
I know. Hi, Bobby. How are you?
Hello, Kavani. I'm great. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm feeling very calm today.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, not even calm. Like I don't feel stressed. Like there's nothing on my shoulders.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that because I know you've had. That's the ancestors saying, Khabane, stop lying. What's on your shoulders? Just tell us, our child.
Oh, dude, on the suede, like brother.
I didn't do that on purpose.
On the suede, my brother.
Okay, can we just pause? The suede needs to be rescued, and apparently it needs mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Ish. I heard y'all were talking about suede. I should not post that. Nah, bro.
Shout out to Dylan for wiping the table after I wet it. And I'll get those treated for you.
It's okay. It's cool.
Okay.
I needed to clean them anyway, so maybe this is a sign to put some water on my shoes.
How do you clean suede shoes? Blue suede shoes, but they're purple. How do you clean shoes? Sorry.
You went through a lot just there.
Yeah.
No, how do I clean them? I normally just like toothbrush. Like what's a toothbrush? There's a brush that they gave me.
With a spray.
Yeah. So I had the other suede shoes. And then I just use that brush for all the other ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got some suede
spray. There's a suede spray
which
as well.
I'll give to you because I have no suede.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
No suede?
But swag? Welcome to the program. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Welcome to the intimate thoughts of people who are genetically unable to extricate themselves from one another.
Issue.
It's called siblinghood, which means we are from the hood.
We're like a Fast and Furious franchise. Family. Ish. Shouldn't have posed that.
That's Khabane Moloi.
And that is Baba Lomuloy. And this is
a brother and a sister podcast.
Coming to a cinema near you. Popcorn sold separately.
Why did I go?
How have you been? What's been up to?
I've been great. I've been really good. Everything's been as it is. I think I'm having a period of really kind of realigning myself with myself. So I've done so much in my life, career-wise, family-wise, travel-wise, all of it.
Yeah.
But there's some things that I think over the last couple of years, I've almost forgotten who I am, like what I'm about, what interests me. And so I'm kind of getting that back together and rebuilding. I'm dismantling some things and then I'm rebuilding
other things.
Yeah, things that are new interests, things that are old interests that I want to bring back into my life. Yeah, it's an interesting space. There's a lot of grieving involved. So I felt like, letting go of things is hard. So I've done that and then changing how I think about certain things. So really flipping the script in terms of how I look at the world, how I look at life, how I look at my own behavior. Because, I've come through a period where I've had a lot of things to complain about. And I should damn well complained about them. And now I'm like, no. That's not the way forward. I'm going to put complaining in my back pocket. And I'm going to put practical, strategical, intelligent ways of working through things like I always did back in the forefront.
Okay, so there's gonna be like more intention
I
in
think so.
uh-huh.
I think more intention. I think it's exactly that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like I'm waking up to myself.
Okay. Now I get it. It's also that also goes to show how good of a life you've cultivated for yourself,
Oh,
where you can somewhat put your life in like auto mode, you
yes.
know,
Yes.
and not be as conscious of the things that's been happening because you're just trying to go through it, but because there's a system in place. It's like sometimes when I think about the privilege of going to school every day
Yeah.
is that you don't have to think about what outfit you have to wear. You
Yeah.
don't have to think about where you have to go at a certain time because all of that stuff is already preset for you.
Yeah.
So then now all you have to do is make sure that you can go through that.
Yeah.
And then if that's all, like you know for a fact that um at a certain time your mom is going to be there to
Mm.
fetch you. At a certain time the bus is going to be there to drop you off at that basketball
Mm.
game. You don't know how that basketball game is going to go, but you just know there's everything that is set out for you is set out, so you kind of can live in like an autopilot mode. Like
Yeah.
and so it's weird. Have you ever been like driving with your mom back in school
I
or
know that woman.
and midway she'll take a weird turn that you're not used to, and then like you kind of snap like back into
Yeah.
reality, but you literally weren't paying attention to the road the whole time, but you can feel there's a shift in your routine.
Have you ever been driving home yourself from somewhere
And
and suddenly you're in the garage and you're like,
how did I get here? Who the fuck are you? Like that is such a
it's
terrifying
weird, eh?
feeling. Um, but I always tell myself, I I always thank myself whenever I have that moment
Okay.
because then I'm like, okay, then I can trust myself,
Yes.
and also
And you're safe.
yeah, but also it's like there's a certain level of intuition that I just have
Yes.
innately
Yes.
that is so like good at what I do that I don't have to worry too much. Obviously, still focus when you're on the
Of
road,
course.
but I don't have to worry too much about the mundane stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like I can trust myself that my teeth will be brushed, my hair will be combed, my clothes will be looking like wherever I go, I know I'll be looking good.
But you see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's because there's systems in
In
place.
place.
So exactly what you were saying to me, there were systems in place
Yeah.
that even though I was like wherever I was,
Hmm.
life carried on.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at now. Now I'm waking up to myself and putting new systems in place.
Okay.
Because 40 plus requires new systems, I'm finding.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That I think isn't that there's also that level of you should change your career every 5 years. Like there's like even with a car, you should like every 5 years, if you can, you should like
Like completely you turn your career or start working elsewhere, or what do you
it
mean?
just they should be somewhat of a drastic shift from where you
Okay.
currently are. It's not like you have to.
Yeah.
It's just generally for people, just like for your mental as well. It's good to
I've
have a
never
new
heard that, but
it
that makes sense to me.
yeah, generally a good thing to have a new thing every couple of years.
Before I kick this bottle of water over,
Mhm.
Makosi, you were telling us that your shoulders, you're more relaxed, you're more calm, like you're not stressed.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm calmer. I've had some great weeks, you know. And by great weeks, I just mean in terms of my social life, I've realized like, wow, I it's the same thing that you're talking about. I can really trust myself that I know better in terms of who I'm dealing with, in terms of how I just in terms of how I operate generally. Like last night, for example, I had a radio interview on why.
Mm.
And the questions that they were asking were like very confrontational. And it wasn't like they were like it was a bad interview or anything. I actually really enjoyed those questions because it made me have to like think. And the questions were like, is social media gonna take over my industry of stand up and all of these questions? And it's like there was a level of like I think perhaps they thought I'd be somewhat stumped. And I've like had to it was so easy to just maneuver around the questions and like answer and just be like, okay. Um I was just like very like what's the word I'm looking for? Eloquent with what I needed to say. And it wasn't hard. I felt like, again, I was in autopilot mode where
Mm.
it was like, it was easy, where there's a level of my social battery almost feels like it never runs out because there's almost like a blueprint, you
Of
know,
your social battery.
of my social life. Like
Okay.
every single person that I've met for the first time, a lot of the time they have the same questions for me, or they have the same everything. Like I just know how to treat people. I know how to
Yeah.
treat people that have bad intentions for me.
Yeah.
I know how to treat people that have good intentions for me. And I treat both of them kindly.
Mm.
And that's the one thing where like I used to think it
Mm.
was like I used to think that was a form of weakness to treat people that hate you
Nope.
kindly. But like I actually have started to realize like, oh no, that's like the strongest thing you can do.
Mm.
Because a lot of the time people intentionally try and poke you.
Mm.
And when you give them
A
a
reaction.
reaction, they know
Mm.
they've won.
Mm.
And some people, I don't even think they realize they're trying to do that.
Mm.
Like, I recently had an experience where somebody that I really, really cared about came back into my life, and they were trying to be important, like, and they were saying things to me that honestly, if I heard these things a couple years ago, I would have melted like butter. And and and
So
and
it's a woman.
ah, you don't know me. You don't know me,
Was that
nigga.
a secret?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But it wasn't a woman.
Good. Great.
It
No.
was a gal. No,
I love those moments though, because if an ex were to come back into your life and
mm,
say, I messed up, you're the one, I don't know if this person said these things to you.
mm.
It would be lovely to get back together, even just for a coffee, let's hang out. What would you do? What is it called? Going around the block. That's what the Americans,
Spinning around no,
yeah? Or
spinning the block one more
spinning the block, yeah.
time.
Or what is it? There's another one. Like a not rebound, but something like that, where
A
they come
re-up,
back.
a re-up, a rebound. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Would I ever do that? I hope not. I really
Mm.
hope not. At this point I trust myself to say 1000% no. Like I'm in a very happy relationship. Life is good. I'm nice. Like
Mm.
everything is good. So I would never. Um I think the thing that worries me is the temptation that I have dealt with is temptation that I can handle. I have yet to have been tempted with something that actually is
Tempting.
tantalizing, you know?
Oh.
Yeah, you know, like and not to say that I'm gonna fall for it or whatever, but it's always weird to me when I hear guys that have never even like been hit on, like shame millionaires and billionaires and people that are in like high positions of power that are constantly getting like
DMs.
yeah DMs, but just like on a day-to-day basis there are people shooting their shots at you, and you've never experienced this level of like
Short
people,
shootery.
yeah, like desire from the world before that can make you make really dumb decisions.
100%.
So whenever I hear people that are like NBA players, for
Yeah.
example, people there's been so many YouTube videos that I've seen where they're like, you see, NBA players need to deal with their lust addiction. Like they're weak minded, and it's like, bro, this is a 20-something-year-old dude that was doing college basketball literally yesterday, and all the girls at his college were like, yo, nigga, I don't want you, and now he's gotten signed to the NBA.
Ew.
He just
So
became
he's
he's
famous and
famous,
he's wealthy.
wealthy. He's a baller, literally.
Yeah.
Like he's living a different life now. Like the girls that he used to fantasize about are waiting at like outside of his hotel room.
Like, have you heard of? I don't remember his name, and I never remember his name, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. The white basketball player who got transferred from one team to
Oh,
another team. Yes.
Luka Doncic.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if this was fake news or if it was real, but apparently Kim Kardashian kept tweeting him and saying, "Oh my God, he's such a great player. Oh my God, I'd love to meet you. Come over." And he was like, "I have wife.
I have wife.
Leave alone."
I don't know if that's true,
Yeah.
but I have seen like
But the point I'm making is that like that's a dream girl. That's
yes.
like,
Yes.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And now she's going, "Oh,
Oh my God.
you're so
look at it.
funny."
Yeah, no. And it's like that is a fantastic feeling, but it's also terrifying when you think about the fact that you have so much now to lose and you've never had this stuff before and you don't not realize how many people are so ready to take from you. Like
Yeah.
people see you have a W and they're not there to congratulate you. They're
Yeah.
there to try and see how much of that W they can take.
And I think a lot of the time we look at people through the lens with which we ourselves would act. So we are trustworthy people.
Yeah.
So you look at somebody, you look at the world as like, okay, it's full of trustworthy people.
Yeah.
You know, until you get really burnt,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And sometimes you can't come back from that burnation,
Mhm.
but sometimes you can, fortunately, and then you've got your lesson learned.
Yes.
And that's what it is.
I think the thing that I was just getting back to that makes me upset is people that think they're trustworthy because they've yet to be put in a trusting position. So you've never had to actually do anything trustworthy. And because of that,
How? Like
a person.
How old is this person?
So a person that's never been in a relationship, that's
Okay.
also never been in a position where beautiful, gorgeous models are coming up to them. And this guy is like, it's a shame. A guy that can't control himself and whatever. It's like, and I'm not even justifying that behavior. I'm just saying you of all people have no business to be like.
I have two points about that. So I was speaking this week about having a price.
Mm-hmm.
So a coworker had been gone for about a week, and this is quite a vital person on my team.
Yeah.
And we really missed him.
Yeah.
And then when he came back, we gave him grief. Obviously, we were just joking around, but you left us. We missed you so. What do we have? And then he literally brought out a Mageu cream flavor and a lunch bar. And all the anger was gone. I was like, "Oh, you see why we missed you." I was like that, right? And it made me think everybody has a price or a level. It's true. So we look at politicians who take from the kitty, who steal,
exactly,
and we're like, how could you do that? But if that same thing was offered to you,
in a heartbeat.
Well, what? And so you have a price.
Yes.
You'd be like 100,000, maybe not, but 1.7 million. Oh,
yeah.
I'm signing the papers.
And not to empathize with politicians because they're supposed to be morally better. You know, there's like if you're gonna you've elected you to be in that position of power because
you're a public servant.
Exactly. So it's really gross that that's the mindset.
But everyone will have a price.
I don't know. I was watching Mr. Beast games.
Yeah.
And I was realizing how, like, firstly, it's creepy just to see this billionaire or the super rich dude just making all these people like kill each other for peanuts. Well, to him, it's peanuts.
It's $1 million.
Yeah, but for him, it's
he's
like,
a multimillionaire.
To them that could change their life, right? And for him, it's just like, okay, cool. And to see how cutthroat people are, there's certain challenges where if everyone in this row votes to eliminate that row, then sharp. But if no one in this row, if even one of you disagree,
if it's not
then
unanimous,
you guys go down or whatever. And it's like that moral dilemma of like, I must kill all those people. So that
people are wailing, crying. What about? I've never.
I want to feed my kids. I just want to feed my kids. People are just like, they all have sob stories.
Yeah.
And then it's like, then when I'm watching that, I'm like, people are so messed up as I'm watching it. And then I'm like, but if I was playing that game, I would
Yes.
literally be doing exactly what they're doing,
Yes.
trying to snake my way to win.
It's
Like,
Squid Games,
it's
which is also life.
yeah.
Is that not the weirdest thing?
Yeah. But I think my weird complaint, to just sum it up, was how you gonna hate from outside the club?
Well, you can't even get
You
in.
can't even get in. Like,
Let go.
all your sideline comments and you see Bruce doing unique evil stuff. And it's like, if you had a second to do an evil thing, do you really think you're holier than thou? But anyway.
Yeah, I don't complain anymore, as was announced at the beginning of the show. So I have no complaints. These are just observations.
Mhm.
Secondarily to what you're saying is about character.
Okay.
So you're saying, how do you know if you're trustworthy if you haven't ever been put in a position to be trusted, right?
Yes.
And for me, that made me think about how, yes, we're adults now, so they're kind of bigger consequences or bigger repercussions. But even as a kid, if you're lying about like
Stealing sweets.
stealing sweets, Shim. If you're lying about, did you pass the test? If you're forging your mother's if you're doing that stuff as a kid, that's part of your character that needs to be developed.
Have you ever forged mom's signature?
It's part of my character that I needed to be developed. Yeah, I did once. I think, and it was just like an issue because I never gave her the form on time. So then it was the deadline, and I still had the form in my bag, and I was like,
okay. Let me just.
yeah.
But
But you see, yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Mom's signature is the hardest signature ever.
no, I'm thinking the direct opposite,
For real.
dude.
Because she has 3 names.
You can't say it here on the podcast.
No, I'm not gonna say the signature.
No, you're saying the formation of the signature. You're doing the choreography of the signature.
No, I'm not gonna.
But don't do it.
Okay.
Signatures are important. And now I've learned that, right? So it's an issue of character.
Mm-hmm.
It's an issue of, at some point you would have had to be put in that trustworthy position.
Got you.
What did you learn from that, and where are you now?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way at like 32 that's the first time you ever tested for your trustworthiness.
Yes.
That's the point I'm making.
I think I just meant to say maybe not your trustworthiness, but high stakes.
That's why everyone has a price.
Yeah.
And mine was Machiu
And
a
a
lunch
lunch
bar.
bar. Obvious. Doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, I really need to raise my standards.
Please.
Nah?
My sister. Because imagine.
Because you've been through it all with me. Yeah, you've been through every single thing.
Because imagine, like,
You didn't even ask me if there is an ex that I'd take back.
Is it? Oh.
You didn't ask me.
Huh.
Because I know you'd be at the door saying, "Tuck,
Would you?
tuck," to every single one of my exes.
No, like.
No entry.
I think also because I don't really talk that much shit about my exes. So there's not a lot of like, you wouldn't know if this is a good one or a bad one.
Yeah.
You've explicitly told me every step of the way how much of a fuck up they were. So by the time they come back to the door, I'd be like, my brother, on June 16, this day.
At 10:25. I've got receipts
You
printed
said,
out. Yeah.
and I quote, wah, 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 wah. How am I supposed to look at you as a man? As a broer?
How are you allowed in this house?
As a gent? How must I look at you? Exit is that way.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
So does that mean what's the limit or level that we can bitch and moan to each other?
As much as we want, but we need to also remember that there's a level of attachment that the people that you're going to bitch and moan to will have to your story.
Okay.
So I know with all my friends, there's certain girls, actually every single girl that was in my past. If any of my homies saw me with them, they're immediately gonna be like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Okay.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
And it's not because I bitched and moaned to them. It's because
They saw it happen.
they saw it
Yeah, like you
happen,
saw it happen
or
in my
but
life.
also they see how happy I am. Where
Without
that
person.
yeah, and they're gonna with the person I'm currently with.
Oh,
Yeah, they're just
yes.
gonna be like, bro, you risk that for blue?
Yeah.
What good is a menage a trois when you have a soulmate? Ish.
Why don't you do it in his accent?
I
In
would
his voice? I think you should do that.
You risk that for blue? What good is a menage a trois when you have a soulmate? You risk that for blue? Oh my God.
Yo! The feelings.
And the tooth fairy didn't pay. And the Easter bunny's fake. Man, I love that album. I love that
Does
album.
he really
So
say those last two things?
everything that I just said, like if you say Jay-Z bar out of context,
Yeah.
it is the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Girls, 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 girls. What more can I say? Like
I call you for real because you're the realist. I love it.
There's one I'm forgetting.
Yeah.
But it always gets me. Sure, but I'm forgetting it right now.
You'll remember it.
I'll remember
and
it.
you'll then karaoke style perform
I'll rock it.
at the end of the show.
It's making me so mad. Okay, but yes. But yeah, that's why it's also so important to have like real friends and real
Yes.
people around you to hold you accountable. You know, sometimes like I hear that story with like Kevin Hart. When he was doing a bad thing. He was cheating on his wife. But
And the CCTV footage caught them in the back of the car. Was it that one? Was there another cheateration?
I think so. Someone was filming inside where he was cheating.
Okay.
And the person that was filming was
in his crew.
Was in his crew.
I remember.
Like and then I don't know which tabloids they sold it to. It's a TMZ type vibe, but to make sure your inner circle is so tight knit and so on par or like like they're on the same page with you. Like they can't be sold for petty cash.
Yeah.
Because
but everybody has a number.
Everybody has a number, but then it also says a lot because it's like your people need to have that mindset that me being loyal to my friend is a greater investment in my life than any number that a person can give.
That's why I love your friendship circle.
Yeah.
Like, and there are many of you, and each of you have your own little bestie on the side, and you check on each other. I think it's the most beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah, I know. How's it with you with your friends?
Why now?
No, like when checking in on each other and.
Okay. Where do you want me to start? I think there's a very specific point where things started changing in my friendship circle.
Yeah.
And it was literally, and I've done a lot of thinking about this, introspecting about this, and also watching people's videos explaining what happens, right? When you have a kid, and you'll see, I don't know, no one in your crew has a kid.
No, like
No.
there's
But
10
you
of
guys
us.
are too young.
They are, but people have gotten kids at younger ages.
I know.
You know?
You guys must wait at least 10 more years if your average
Someone said until 27 it's a teenage pregnancy.
Yeah. Until your 30s it's a teenage pregnancy.
Yeah, it was a weird number like that.
So
but
because of that, our lifestyles were so different. And it just made cracks in the specific friendship circle that I had.
Different in what way?
Because they didn't have a kid.
Oh, gotcha.
Because they didn't understand what my new concerns were. Or our concerns had differed so much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was always career, next gig. And then when I had a kid, I was like, I'm going to take these years to look after my kid because I don't know if this is going to happen again. But career, you can fall off, you can come back. Like career, something's going to be there for you, but you've got to like invest in your parenting.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. And maybe I became one of those people who was like, I can't come. I've got to stay home with my kid. Which for me is logical.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%.
like, so I must go to the hubbly spot and I know I have a child at home. Like, I'm not going to do that, right?
Yeah.
And this is not to judge. This is not to put down. It literally is. My experience was like that. So
Yes.
there was it was a thingy there. But then I have one friend, and this is why I'm asking you about the level of bitching and moaning to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in therapy and I talk about this. I talk to you guys, obviously, at home about what's currently happening.
Mm.
And there was just like, and I feel heard and I feel seen, but there was something, like just an essential something that was missing.
Mm.
And then I got it. So I picked up the phone to my very good friend, Maishi. And I was like, girl, you don't even know.
Yeah.
Or I sent her a message. I did something to alert her. And then she sent me a voice note going, ah, 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 ah. That bloody bastard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is what I
I
needed.
needed
I needed my friend to be like, oh, show me.
match my energy and in fact rev it up.
And then
Mm.
I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. I had so much faith in that person. They treat, I can't, I'm flabbergasted.
Mm-hmm.
And then we laugh over the use of the word flabbergasted. And then we're laughing. Yeah, I'm double flabbergasted. My guests are flabbered. And then, you know, that thing happens, and there's like a source of healing from that
Yes.
that happens.
Yes.
You've got to have friends.
1000%.
So I do have friends. We've
I-
had one of my friends here on the
I've
podcast.
never doubted you having friends.
A-
I
Am I
truly,
getting defensive?
I believe that you have friends.
That's very weird.
I do not think they're just.
And I love my
imaginary.
friends,
Yes,
past and present.
and future.
Yes. Not the rapper, though. I'm not getting caught in that trap. Get it? Trap.
What?
Was it?
Fast forward.
Yeah. Wasn't it trap music?
Trap music. Okay, I'll let you have that one.
Whatever.
I'll let you have that one.
Yeah, I think friendships are so vitally important.
They
It's a
1000%
beautiful
are.
thing.
I think I'm the most protective person in my
Projective or protective?
protective. Like
Of your homies.
I won't be rude to the people that have done my homies dirty,
Yeah.
but I'll be the one to be like, bro, leave that bitch alone. Like, I'll be the first to say
But
that.
don't use that word.
No, but sometimes they don't get it. Because if you say leave that girl alone, it's like, but she's a good girl. It's like, no. We're gonna call a spade
Let's
a
find
spade.
another word. Try it.
Leave that scobolicious individual alone.
Perhaps that's better.
Better?
Yeah.
Better.
Can I tell you my favorite swear word?
What's your favorite?
And I'm not
song?
going to say it yet because I think even in podcast land, it's not allowed to be said.
Uh-huh.
It see you next Tuesday.
That's what I wanted to say.
When I have the opportunity to, that is the most, it's like Shaka's blade.
You must use it sparingly though.
No.
That's why it hits so.
That's why I can't even say it here.
Yeah.
That's a word.
Like, it's so weird. There's certain words that you can say rapid fire 3 times and it sounds nice. Like fuck. Or or tuck. You know, you can say tuck. Like, you can say that and it sounds clean
Okay.
still.
Yeah.
But you can't say
Hey, whoa. Not on my podcast. Not on your podcast. Don't.
you
But
can't.
yeah. But it's when it's necessary. It's
Mm.
like when someone scratches that part of your back that you can't reach.
It's delicious. So satisfying. But yeah, no, but like sometimes, because also the thing is, the people that hurt my friends, not that they want to get hurt more, but they're not over those people. So sometimes you have to be the voice of reason
Yeah,
for them.
I get you.
You know?
I
And
get
you must just be, you have to slander a person sometimes. You gotta.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing when you have those debriefs with your friends, you know. But as you hear, I am in therapy. I have a lot of help around with everything that's going on currently. But it's nice to hear that from your friend
1000%.
who's walked the path from the beginning with you.
Yeah, they know how far you've come. They know where you're going,
This,
so they will
I
not
don't know
let you
if I can tell
compromise who
this
you are.
story.
Try.
This story has nothing to do with me.
Oh,
I
yo.
heard, allegedly, that a friend of an individual, not me, helped them get out of a bad relationship
Bye.
by doing exactly what I'm saying. By going, listen, are you listening to yourself? Like every few weeks you phone me and you're like, oh, so and so is missing. And they're like, have you seen them? And who's looking after you? Like, why are you always looking after this person? And that person's the person they were talking about, my friend's story. They were related by blood. And she still stood up and she said to me, listen, no, I love you. Of course I'm going to love this other person because we're related by blood. But I love you, my friend. Are you hearing yourself? Are you hearing how you're always the one rescuing? Are you hearing, like, are you actually hearing yourself? And also, do you remember who you are?
Got you.
And not who you are like accolades, but who you are as a person, as a woman.
Okay, then I know who the people you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of one of my best friends telling me, like, I'm dating his sister. And he's like, firstly, you shouldn't have been dating my sister. But secondly, more importantly, respect yourself. I love my sister, but she's also misbehaving.
Yeah.
And like, I think it's so dope to have a friend that can acknowledge BS.
Yes.
On all sides. Where it's like they didn't pick their family over
Yeah.
you. They're not picking you over the family. In this situation, no one's hurt, but they need to acknowledge the truth.
They're just analyzing the situation
As
and saying,
amicably as possible.
you
and
are
like,
not playing a good game here.
You are not protecting yourself.
We acknowledge the other person's part.
Yes.
But you see why complaining must be in your back pocket? Because complaining, then you get stuck in the situation. You get stuck in the rumination of this situation.
Yeah.
Bars. But she was like, Osi, look at this.
Concentrate.
Which honestly is...
Be like Oros. Concentrate. You know, I love doing that. Every time I play video games now, I say I hit you with the Oros. And they're like, what do you mean?
So
and it's like, I made you concentrate, my brother. Concentrate.
That's
my
very
brother.
good.
You must
That's very
concentrate.
good. All right. Well, we've had a nice catch up.
We have. We definitely have. I don't know if you have one, but I do have a bit of a put me on.
Hit me with it. Dunk it on me.
So this put me on isn't necessarily for you. It's just for people that like to read and specifically appreciate the comic book section or the manga section of literature. No, I know you like novels, you know, you like nonfiction, you like the self-help books and those ones. You like books with a lot of words.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
I like books
this is for other people.
I like books with pictures. You know, if I don't know.
Who was it who can't read? It's a Diddy. There's one of these people.
Floyd Mayweather.
I don't know who.
If you can read 2 pages of a Harry Potter book, I will donate to any charity of your choice.
A Harry Potter book. You've been hilarious.
And
okay, so what's the put me on?
You put me on, bro. Put me on, sis.
Put me on. Put me on. Put me on.
I was about to just say, if all the Black empowerment books had more pictures in it, the entire country would be so revolutionized at this point.
The thoughts and opinions of Khabani Moloi do not necessarily reflect the thoughts and opinions of Babi Moloi.
My put me on for this week is
signed by a lawyer
called Slam Dunk. It's a manga that I always forget who the creator is, but you can check it out. There's also an anime that you can watch, and the anime right now is on Netflix. It's subbed, not dubbed, which means it's in.
You have to read it.
You have to read it,
which is also good.
This is reading fantastic. It's very beautiful. So, the reason why I want to put people onto that one in particular, because there's been a lot of animes and mangas about basketball.
Oh,
but that is one of the first uh pieces of media that makes you fall in love with the game. And I think it was in Japan
Mm.
where literally the basketball was not a big sport there until that anime came out.
Mm.
And it literally changed the entire perspective of the average person living there to want to be obsessed with basketball.
Yeah.
They started loving Jordan, started loving who's the guy with the colorful hair, Dennis
Oh,
Rodman.
Rodman.
All of those characters where
It
they were
was his
just
birthday recently.
fire. I like Rodman, but like ish as of late he's been disappointing me.
What's he done lately?
His daughter keeps going on podcasts talking about how he's a bad father. And he goes on podcasts and he cries about how he wishes he was a better father. And I was like, just go be a father.
It seems like you have the same objective.
Like
yet
right now,
move
that
towards it,
constant
people.
oros yourself.
Yeah.
Hey, my brother. But anyway, with that all being said,
This
if
manga.
you want to get into basketball, because right now I've been enjoying the league. I've been enjoying NBA so much. Like the story that I'm seeing unfold, there's this young player named Anthony Edwards that's becoming a young Jordan right now. And you heard that whole Luka thing and getting traded, and you put your whole heart and soul into a franchise just to
Yeah.
find out they don't give a damn about you.
Yeah.
All of these things. Like, have you ever watched a sport and seen, not even watch a sport, have you ever watched a person watch a sport and be like, I wish I could care about something like that?
Sure.
Like sometimes I'll watch people watch soccer
Yeah.
and I'll see them cry over the game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish I cared about something like that outside of myself and my family. And I've been feeling that way towards basketball.
Brilliant.
And it was because I first started with slam dunk. So if you want to get into basketball, I'd say just start with slam dunk. You'll start loving the fundamentals of the game. You'll love like the nitty gritty stuff. By the time it's time to watch an actual NBA game, you'll be like, this is pretty fun. Like,
That's
I get
great.
it. So yeah.
That's what the documentary series Drive to Survive, or Drive, I think that's what it's called, did for F1
Oh, for real?
all over the world. Once that first season came out, people were so obsessed with the stories, the politics, the
Yes.
characters, and then Sir Hamilton, who's just
The love.
um
And the
Where
other
was
guy,
I?
Verstappen.
and Verstappen. So you see now,
Yeah.
you have
The good guys, the bad
the- yeah.
guys.
the Capulets and the Montagues.
It's a
You've got to
story.
pick a side.
It's a story as old as time.
And what I love about what you're putting me on, I'm aware that Japan wasn't necessarily into the sport at the time. So this almost introduced it to Japan.
Yes. It made it an obsession.
Yeah.
Where it was like,
It's so powerful.
like one person's love for a
Yeah.
thing can make an entire country's zeitgeist just switch up. And now everyone's just like, bro, this is our new favorite thing.
Isn't that amazing?
Your
art, your eccentricities, the things that make you who you are. Those are the things that we need to kind of focus in on. I mean, I suppose I can put on just something that I've been reading, because we don't say watching on TikTok anymore. You have to say you read this somewhere.
Yeah.
So I was reading, and she was talking about exactly that, how you can feel the energy and vibration of a person who's not being authentic, who's not their total weirdo self,
Yes.
who's not like embraced their eccentricities. And those are the things that are going to make sure your vibe is what attracts your tribe, so your friendship circle and people who you connect with and who can help you on your journey and who have been on your journey so you can see what's coming next, because you embrace your full authenticity.
Issue.
And I think that that's one of the most beautiful lessons.
I think also that also speaks especially to creatives.
Yeah.
Where it's like, people always talk about like their purpose. And I like to kind of, in my head, I always debunk that theory of like, everyone has a purpose. Where it's like, no, you have a gift. And if you don't do something with your gift, someone else will do. You can make your gift a purpose. And like if you don't use it, it's in the world now. So you'll have this fire idea to
Whatever.
and then 2 days later you see that idea is on the internet and you're like, you never saw anyone do this. There's no cognitive dissonance or no, not cognitive dissonance. There's no, like, you didn't see anyone do this. And yet it's there.
Yeah.
And you know you had this idea maybe even years before. But it's not that that was your idea. It was your time to just, it was that idea's time. And it came through you first, but you didn't do anything with it. But it will,
on such a spiritual level.
yeah. So like like creativity needs to, the plane would have been made.
Yes.
Whether it's the Wright brothers
or the wrong brothers.
I love it. I love it. I love it. But it's that thing where it's like, it doesn't matter how good or much you care about a thing. If you don't put it out there,
execute.
If you don't execute, if you don't, it's whether it's you or not, that thing is going to be out there.
So there we go. Bring light to the world. That's what it's about.
Or die trying.
50 Cent, the direct quote.
The tooth fairy didn't pay. And the Easter bunny's fake. What good is a menage a trois when you have a soulmate?
I can't believe he did that though.
Or did what? Cheat.
To Beyonce.
You see, this is what I was talking about earlier.
What?
It's like we don't know how the menage a trois looked. I assume she's...
but doesn't 444 and the other one that she did for, what was her album called?
Lemonade.
So they all told the story. We understand through putting together the stories we mined out of those albums. And that one interview. One?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Khabani Muloy.
My name is Baba Lumuloy.
Issue. And this is a brother and a sister.
Yeah, every time you say issue, I stop and I'm like, what's the issue?
It's the September issue for you.
Maybe next time you must teach me some more Gen Z slang.
No, I just like saying
so
issue.
I can keep up.
I don't know who I heard it from. Someone just keeps saying issue
issue.
Every time I say it, like a statement that, like, I'll be like, guys, we can't work like this. And then it was just issue. And then every time I say something, it made me feel empowered. Like, yo, damn, I really be saying things.
Okay, so let's use it now. Make sure you join us for the next episode of It's a Brother and a Sister podcast.
Issue. It's too much, man.
It's too much,
it's too
man.
Much. It's for much, man.
Thank you, Spotify.
Thank you, Mother. And thank you, Jesus. Shout out. I like that, bro.
Please.
Oh, yeah, kind of. Yeah, sorry. Amen. Bye. Shout out.
Lie. This is the never-ending show. And another thing. This is what...
By the way, the thing can end at Hosh.
You never said Hosh.
I said Hosh. We can do that.
You never said
I
Hosh.
did.